In case you were unfamiliar, Livvy Dunne is a famous gymnast and influencer, and she is in a relationship with a baseball player named Paul Skenes. He's a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Recently, they lost a game pretty badly. They switched him out in the 5th inning. This is all according to Brett. He told me about it. They switched him out in the 5th inning for a relief pitcher.
Okay, so yes,
they were winning by a lot.
So
10-3.
when he gave up 3, he only gave up 3 runs.
Yes.
So they were ahead 10-3 when they pulled him in the 5th. I believe somebody was saying that they've got like a pitch limit on him, so he's only allowed to pitch a certain amount of. Only allowed to so many amount of pitches a game to keep him fresh or whatever.
Sure.
They pull him in the 5th and they got a 10-3 lead. By the time the game is over in the next 4 innings, they lose 14-10.
Yeah. So basically, Livy was pissed off that they switched him out, and she tweeted out a GIF of Paul Skenes saying, "You gotta be kidding me," trying to throw shade at his teammates who dropped the ball.
Look, they
no
did.
pun intended, right?
It's funny because it's like they talk about how some athletes are unemployable not because they're not talented, but because chaotic personalities are bad for locker room cohesion. And I'm imagining you've got this very, very famous, very, very front-facing personality for your girlfriend who's now, posting to millions of people shade.
I saw one person comment on her post saying, "You're the only reason he's relevant," which is crazy. Because if you're a professional baseball player, yeah, you're relevant. Yeah. You don't need to leech fame off of some other athlete or influencer.
I mean, I wonder how much of it for some of them is like they don't even want to necessarily be famous anyways. They just want to focus on sports, and by virtue of what
love
they
of the
do,
game.
by virtue of what they do, and the money and the love of the game,
yes.
But they might not necessarily want the fame. But I do think that this is the type of thing that people don't think about these days. That look, we were just talking about Brittany Mahomes.
Right.
Brittany Mahomes could have a detrimental effect on her husband's locker room cohesion, depending on how they feel about politics, right? I'm not saying that that's going to happen.
I mean, if
my guess
anybody...
is 99 times out of 100, they're good enough at their job that they know to leave it at the door, and that the team, the game, winning is more important than all that stuff. But that doesn't mean that doesn't cause drama behind the scenes, maybe with the other wives of the teammates.
I mean, if anybody's partner on the Kansas City Chiefs is causing strife in the locker room,
Taylor Swift.
It's got to be Taylor Swift. I don't think it's Brittany Mahomes because she's she happens to be a Trump supporter. Honestly, if we had to guess, most of them are probably Trump supporters, right?
Oh, I don't know. I would
at least quietly.
I would never.
Or they don't care.
I would never deign to assume who is
stealing all the attention. Yeah. Who's the center of attention in that situation? Who's getting filmed in the box? It's Taylor Swift. Yeah. And Livvy Dunne, on a very small scale, is kind of doing the same thing because she goes to a lot of Paul Skenes games.
Yep.
And she gets involved in the conversation. She now has thrown shade at his teammates for causing them to lose this game. And they're going to be like, bro, make her shut up.
Yeah. It's an argument in the locker room that didn't need to happen in the first place.
Yeah. And then I saw another comment from a Pirates fan saying, "I hope you talk to Paul about getting out of there, Livy." They're trying to tell her, hey, tell Paul that he needs to demand a trade to a different team.
I love the idea that she's the middleman to them.
She's the liaison.
We need to get you. We need you to pass this message along.
Which is insane, but exactly the reason why she shouldn't get involved in the discourse in the first place.
But I mean, she is kind of on a much smaller scale a very, very marketable thing for baseball.
Exactly.
In the way that Taylor Swift is for football.
The MLB tweeted out a photo shoot where she was dressed up as Paul Skenes at one of his games with the fake mustache and everything.
I remember this. Yeah.
They were using her to market, and I'm sure she's, gotten them a lot of attention.
Baseball, football, basketball, all of these sports are now much more dynamic with the implementation of social media, and certainly the way these companies are run. You can't just survive on the sport itself anymore. You have to be active on social media, and one of the best ways to do that is to implement, very, very famous or popular teammates, girlfriends, wives, family members, and stuff like that.
Not that I assume this is a PR relationship since they've been together for
No.
like almost a year, I think. But this is why people find PR relationships so plausible and why they consider Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce a very plausible PR relationship that maybe progressed further into something real.
I mean, yeah, so we mentioned WAG, Wives and Girlfriends. Like, there's whole shows about that and stuff like that. So,
But like Brittany Mahomes is getting all of the hate right now for what?
because, well, she like doubled down on her. In fact, I'll look it up. I was literally just looking at it before the, and she's.
I mean, doubling down would kind of assume that someone
Triple down.
made a mistake. Like
triples down on stance amid Trump support backlash. I'm getting off the Fox site because they always like a video always like auto plays and ruins.
I don't want to watch.
I don't want to
Donald
watch
Trump's press release right now.
Yeah, it says Brittany Mahomes doubles down on Trump support as Taylor Swift remains mum about Harris. Who is this? The Mercury News? Mum? Brittany Mahomes looks eager to double down on her support for Donald Trump. You're right. By saying that, it implies that she made a mistake and that
Like
she's
she
doing
did something wrong and she needs to correct herself. But they're also implying Taylor Swift hasn't endorsed Kamala yet so that she can keep her friendship with Brittany Mahomes. But like,
No. Taylor Swift has more to lose by talking about it than Brittany Mahomes does.
yeah, definitely.
It's easy to speculate on what Brittany's quarterback husband, Patrick Mahomes, thinks about her signaling her support for Trump. I like how they wonder like that they have never had these conversations before.
Wait, okay. Did you see this video of Brittany Mahomes that's getting a lot of views right now?
Is it the one about fried chicken?
No,
never seen that one?
I think it was a lip read where she went,
at the game,
She
yeah.
said, I just sent you the link.
Yep.
She said to the person next to her, Patrick said no resting bitch face. Because I guess she was getting criticized for having a resting bitch face at the games. But people are using this as more reason to, drive division between them over politics.
Oh, there's a great comment in the chat. John Durham says Travis has 2 rings. Taylor hasn't even gotten one yet.
We'll see. That could change. We don't know. Once he retires.
Look, Brittany Mahomes gets a lot of attention. I remember like after the Super Bowl, she was getting a lot of attention because she was talking smack, but also like they would do like photo shoots with her and stuff like that. She's on magazine covers, paid posts on Instagram and stuff like that. It's very lucrative to be the conventionally attractive wife of a famous athlete.
I saw people making fun of her saying that she gives 2016 Thanksgiving energy. Like
What does that
Christian
mean?
girl autumn energy, over the knee leather boot with skinny jean energy.
So it's the
So
meme,
she's just a basic white woman, and
it's the
that's
meme I
what you're
sent
mad at.
you ages ago, where it's like it's all the women who have the vest on, the white shirt, the faded blue jeans, and the
Yes.
Uggs, and it says
Yes.
if all the spellings of Ashley were a photo.
See, Brittany Mahomes is that girl, but
name's
with
not-
like tens of millions of dollars more than them.
Yeah.
Same person.
It says the reply said, "Glad to see you aren't backing down. We are all entitled to our own opinions and shouldn't be bullied into submission." I would like just once for that to come from somebody who doesn't support Trump. Like, but for that to come
never
from
will.
it never
Never
does,
will.
right? It's like
Nope.
it's the same as when conservatives are always like, "I always like the cut of her jib," I always had a feeling about that guy.
I always liked Brittany Mahomes.
It was nice.
even though I just found out who she was a week ago.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that there was like something that happened after the Super Bowl where she was making snarky posts online where everyone was dunking on her, probably me included, because she probably sounded like a jerk.
Over what?
I don't even remember. I
don't even
could
remember.
go to TMZ.
Well,
and
here's
see
the
if it
problem.
was,
It's like all of these people are going to comment, get your woman in line,
yeah,
Like tell Livy Dunne to stop with the Twitter fingers, get your wife to stop posting about supporting Trump. And overall, the message is basically like get your woman in control. Like,
which is weird from progressive people.
it is weird, but it's literally what they're trying to do is get Patrick Mahomes or get Paul Skenes to like, get their women in line and make them stay silent on social media, which in some cases they should be doing.
Yeah.
'Cause-
whatever. I mean,
In
if we're talking
Dunn's case,
if we're talking about like
yes.
being detrimental to like team cohesion, then yeah, that's not
Yes.
something that you want to do. You want to make sure that you're. Oh wait, no. What was it that that Jonathan Major said? You got to be like Coretta
You have
Scott
to be
King.
like Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama to match my freak.
Yeah. If you're gonna be famous, you're gonna
Yes.
have to be Coretta Scott
But
King.
Patrick Mahomes is also in an awkward position because he has been pestered over and over by the media for his political stance, for his endorsement in the race, and he has refused to do so. But now his wife is going off on Instagram about how much she loves Trump, and they're going to expect him to answer for that, which is unfair, but the media is unfair.
Yeah, that's just one of those things.
Get
where
used to it, you know?
You don't like now you're held. It's like anything you say will then become a side question for me later because they're gonna say like, well, what do you think of your wife saying this, or what do you think of your husband saying that? Like, I don't know.
Years from now, you're going to get DMs that are like, why didn't you say something when Mary said this super offensive comment about so-and-so on Pop Culture
Silence
Crisis?
is violence.
So your silence was violence.
Well, if that ever comes up and somebody asks you why I said something offensive, we'll know that hell is frozen over. Right?
Yes, exactly.
I don't say anything offensive. I'm Mr. Inoffensive. That's me.
Positive Brett.
That's me.
Mr. Positivity.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.